Okay. Okay, hello and welcome to the Boxing Supplement. I'm Joe Mason and today I'm at the Team Fury gym in Bolton. With me is Peter Fury, trainer of obviously Tyson, Hughie, Fast Eddie Chambers, Isaac Turbo Low and Dave Allen. Is there anyone else I've missed out?
There's one or two, but they're irrelevant at the moment.
Okay. Alright Peter, today I want to focus on your son Hughie. And if you could just start off by telling us about his upcoming fight next weekend.
Yeah, he fights Danny Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a good record. He's, I think, 15 or 16 fights he's had. He's got 2 draws and 2 losses. His 2 losses have come in prize fighter against Audley Harrison and Michael Sprott. So he's mixed in high circles himself. And he's a good, decent test for you. He's a big heavyweight, 6'5", 6'6". 17 and a half, 18 stone, and Danny comes to win. He's coming to fight. He's up for this fight. He's confident he can take it away from Hughie, so it's a decent test for Hughie.
Yeah, definitely. He's a big boy as well.
Mm.
So will Hughie be going on to fight on the Fury Chisora bill?
Yes, he will. He'll be on the undercard of that. He's also, after this fight, all going well, he's on the, I think, 7th of June. On Francis Warren's show, here in Manchester. He's and then after that he's on Tyson's undercard on July the 26th.
So definitely a keep busy year again for Hughie.
Definitely, we've had a few issues with Hughie with his health, and where he's getting periods of tiredness, losing strength, things like this. But it's we've had to change his training around, and you know, he's back on full form again.
Yeah.
You know, it's partly because he's so big and it's his age, you know, and as you notice he's got he suffers a lot of like acne spots, and you know these are it's all part of teenagers, you know.
Yeah. So
he's coming from a boy to a man, and when you're overloading his training, you know, it's affecting him because he's not fully mature yet.
No, I mean, I find it hard to believe he's 19. I'm 26. I mean, I look at him as he's a man, you know. He's a grown man.
6'6", 17 and a half stone. You know, they don't come any bigger. But like I said, there's certain stress levels they can take and stress levels they can't. You know, it's You know, don't get me wrong. In a fight, he's perfectly okay. But in training, he gets overtraining symptoms.
Yeah.
And it's partly because probably he tries to keep up with people like Tyson. And the 6 years in between them. So where Tyson can cope with it, he'll tip over the edge. So he's just. Everybody's different, the body's different, but as he gets older, he's getting more and more better. So I think in the next 12 months, we won't even have this issue.
No. I mean, it was mentioned by you and Hughie before about issues with his hand injuries. I mean, that was evident that wasn't a problem in the Greer fight. I mean, he was landing heavy shots, you know.
Sure.
And what a performance as well. I mean, there's no issues with the hands anymore, was there?
No, you know, there's no point letting him fight, you know, 50 or 60%, you know, and labouring through a fight and just getting a win.
Yeah.
You know, if he's not 100%, he's not boxing. Because on 100% Hughie, he's a highly, highly intelligent and he's a talented fighter. So, you know, I'm not going to rob him of not going in at his very best.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anyone in mind for the fights coming up after the Dan Hughes fight, or just go with it?
We're looking to step Hughie up for sure. You know, Michael Sprott, John McDermott. You know, any of these fights we're looking at. You know, we'll have to have a look. Whoever's out there. You know, trying to get Hughie worst way if we can, get him in the world top 10 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because he should have had quite a lot of fights. Now we're going to keep him busy. He'll obviously after July, we've got August. He'll fight again in September. And then we'll try and keep him busy right through to December. So we'll definitely get another. He's got one May, June, July, September, October. We'll get another 5 or 6 fights in this year.
Wow, that's a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, John McDermott would be great after the great fights that Tyson had with him.
You know, I'm mentioning John McDermott because he's a very good fighter. You know, he's very underestimated, John. We know John is a top fella as well. He's a proper fighting man. People underestimate him. He's got a fabulous jab, and he's a very good boxer and a tough heavyweight to beat. So they're all good tests for Hughie.
Yeah.
And they're not foregone conclusions either, by any stretch. He's not. We're not calling him out thinking, this is where he's going to beat him. We're saying we want good fights for Hughie. So these are the fights we want to be making.
I mean, I've seen Hughie and Tyson fight both in Norwich. I mean, it must have been Tyson's at the showground. It would have been maybe third or fourth pro fight, and Hughie fought at Epic Studios. So with that sort of connection fighting in Norwich, is Sam Sexton at all on the radar?
He's not on our radar because he's manager and promoter. We know very well. He's part of our team.
Oh, Shamrock.
Yes.
Okay.
Mervyn Turner.
Yeah.
So look, there's plenty of heavyweights out there.
Yeah.
We don't need to box people that we're affiliated with.
No, of course not.
So basically, he's not on our radar for simply that reason.
Yeah.
No other reason.
Okay.
Sam's got a good route anyway. He's looking British titles or whatever. Good luck to him.
Okay. What would you say has improved most in Hughie since, let's say, Eddie Chambers has come into the camp? Has that had a big effect on Hughie's performances?
Hughie's come on a lot. He's sparring with world-class operators, isn't he? He's in the gym. He's moving with Eddie. If Eddie's struggling to get his shots off on Hughie, it just shows you the skill that he's adapting, and he's progressing and learning things all the time. It's all about experimenting, learning things. He's sparring 8 to 10 rounds, no problem. So he's in good shape. He's in super condition anyway, and it's onwards and upwards. It's all about, with Hughie, he's got very, very good movement. He's underestimated if people don't think he's holding a lot of skill. All that I can say, when that bell goes and the opponent steps in front of him, they realise what skill he's got. And also, don't make a mistake with Hughie because he can hit.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, just as a fan, I can see that. He can move like a welterweight. He's just got such good movement for a heavyweight. I mean,
he's got some movement. He's hard to pin down. We've been practicing a lot of stuff. Things where, where he doesn't really sit on the ropes. He's a good mover. But if he's against the ropes, we've been practicing all these type of things, and of any situation. So he's ready for what anybody got to bring. So I'm looking forward, to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to seeing in progress and. Seeing what he does in the gym, in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, it must be testament to the, as you mentioned, this world-class sparring that he does have regularly as well.
We've got some world-class sparring, like you said. There's Eddie. We've had Chris Keane up here yesterday. We've got some good sparring. Even cruiserweight and small heavyweights. They'll find it difficult to nail Hughie. He's very quick. And this is what I mean. When this kid's on form, he's dynamite. But if he's not on form, he can labour through a fight. Now, we had a fight last year on Eurosport, and he got the kid out in 4 rounds. He sustained a cut. Again, he was going in fights tired, lethargic, running through the motions. And even the kid running on 40-50%, he's never come close to even losing or anything. He wins landslides on points, but the power's not there because it's all about his age, getting it right. But on the 10th, it's 10th of May, isn't it? Yeah, his next one. He should be. He's ready. There's no excuses. He's in very good shape. He's strong, and we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to seeing the fight as well. What I've noticed with Hughie is definitely just in the year he's been pro, or just over a year. How easy he is in the ring, the composure, just so comfortable, never rushing the work, and it seems like everything you're saying to him he takes on board, and there's great communication. Yeah,
my son, he lives with me 24 hours a day. Even as we speak, he's sleeping next door.
Yeah.
So trains in the morning. He listens. He's a good student because we work on things. We stop the sparring. And you've only got to tell him when he clicks it, he clicks it. So it's all building blocks for the future.
Yeah.
We're not training him flat out for this fight. I'm training him for when he's going to reach world title level now.
Yeah.
So he's got the same type of training, but he's sparring on the level with any heavyweight in the gym, whether it be Tyson, whether it be Eddie Chambers. The older he's getting, the more seasoned he's getting, and he can give anyone a good spar. There ain't no one really getting the better of Hughie, even in sparring. Hughie can hold his own with anybody, and anybody who comes in sparring with Hughie, whoever it may be, will testify the same. You know, he's a serious athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a friend called Dodge. He's a massive boxing fan, a big fan of like you and all your fighters.
Yeah.
And you know, he said that this guy's 19. He's going to be able, you know, he's going to be able to box the arse off anyone. I mean, just purely boxing ability is not something you see in every heavyweight, and it's so nice to see it.
It's that sweet science, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know, and that's what we want to bring back to the heavyweights. We had a prime example the other day. You know, not taking anything away from Vladimir Klitschko, but you've got a supreme athlete in Vladimir Klitschko with good boxing skills, and then we've got a guy from Samoa who can break your face in with a jab. He's got all the power in the world, but then again, there's no skill set. He's just a big lump and he's looking to land that bomb. It ain't never going to happen.
No.
A good boxer will always beat a powerful individual who's more or less relying on his power than his boxing skill. He's only ever going to go so far. You know, look, we can all put our numbers down on the lottery, but your chances of winning a world title is the same as you winning the lottery this week.
Yeah.
You know, so with that skill set, let's be honest, it's exciting to see all these fighters coming through. Me looking at it, and I'm looking at developing world champions. Without that skill set, you'll always fall short. Because jumping from a domestic fighter to a world-class fighter is a different league. We've got a racehorse and we've got a cart horse. That's the difference. It's like putting a field horse pulling a track, or a pony pulling a wagon or something against a racehorse at the trap. You know, that's the difference. It's more or less a thoroughbred athlete. You know, and that's the difference between domestic level and world class. And that's what we see a lot. So, same with Vladimir, getting back to that fight. The guy was able, he was strong enough, he wanted to have a go, he just couldn't.
No.
Because he never had the attributes. So this is what we're up against. So this is why with all of my fighters, it doesn't matter whether they're 6 foot, 6'5", 6'8", Tyson, 6'9", whatever they are. Skill to me is what counts. Because skill's going to get you out of trouble, it's going to be able to make you land your shots. It's a whole different ball game. It's not called boxing for nothing. It's not a fight, it's a boxing match.
I mean, I've heard you say before that you want all your fighters to fight to their advantage. So as Eddie Chambers must be what, 6'1", 6'2", you know, a bit smaller than.
He's 6'1", Eddie, 15 and a half stone, yeah. But Eddie again, he's like an elastic ball. He's developed so well. He's a powerhouse. You know, just this morning took him to the gym. You know, he's jumping up 210 kilos with a deadlift. You know, and we're doing a lot of plyometrics. You know, uses the body. You know, anything like when it comes to like pull-ups, whether it comes to press-ups. This guy can press up with his feet and hands coming off the floor, 2 feet in the air. He can just listen, unbelievable. He's got unbelievable core condition. So he's explosive, you know, and that's the benefits of training somebody to what their physical attributes are.
Yeah.
If that type of training wouldn't suit Tyson.
No.
He's too big. But Eddie, he's like an elastic ball, you know, he's a powerhouse. You know, you can almost liken him to similarities probably to David A. Only he's a little bit shorter than David A. I think David A's about 6'3", is he?
Yeah.
And he's about 6 foot, 6'1". But he's explosive, and he's got tremendous skill, Eddie Chambers. Tremendous. So he's another world-class fighter. He's going to get his shot again.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, he's not going to have a fight, get somebody who's good but not on a world level and get beat. You know, I see Eddie challenging for a world title because he's definitely a better man, Eddie, today than what he's been from all of his past fights.
Totally. He looks great. He seems hungrier since coming into Team Fury. How did that happen?
Well, you know, first and foremost for me, it's not a business. First and foremost to me, I've got to like the person.
Yeah.
You know, and likewise in return, you know, I like Eddie Chambers. We all like Eddie Chambers. Eddie Chambers is very highly respected here with us for his boxing skill and for the person he is foremost. You know, he is a gentleman right through his body. So it goes a long way. And then when you get that feedback, you've got to have that feedback with people, because when it's like that, you know, you can put your heart and soul into it. And this is why I live on the job and I train with them 24/7, because I put my own life into it. You know, because there's no way I want to see them come short in any way, and that's my responsibility.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is why you've got to gel with a person. It's got to work, and they've got to really have the faith in you that they want your help, and likewise to give it back. And then you can start with all the training and everything else. But you've got to have a bond there. And the good thing with a lot of professional fighters, they're all nice human beings anyway, because they know how hard it is. It's a very, very tough game.
Yeah. One last question about Hughie before moving on to, say, Tyson. Is it still in your sights and Hughie to beat Mike Tyson's record of becoming the youngest world heavyweight champion?
Let's see. He's 20 on the 18th of September this year.
Yeah.
So if all goes well, and it's his 14th fight in May, 15th in June, 16th in July. August there's no fights, as we know. September will be his 17th fight. So yeah,
because Mike Tyson, was nearly 21 when he actually won the title.
Okay, so he's going to be 17. He's going to be around hovering between 18 and 20 fights by the end of the year, by 014.
Yeah.
And for that experience, the type of level of sparring he's getting, he's going to be up there. So if we can get a chance at a world title shot at the age of just turning 20, he'll take it if we can get it.
Yeah.
Win or lose, he'll go in because he's up there. He'll have had the experience. He'll have had the likes of decent fights along the way. He's being climbed at the right time. He's getting the right fights, and we'll definitely take it if we can get it. And if he does win a world title, what an ambassador for the sport!
Absolutely.
Because Hughie,
absolutely,
he's a boxing man to his boots. He belongs. If ever a kid was born to be in the ring, it's got to be him.
Yeah.
Because he loves it. It's not for the money for him. It's not for anything. He just wants to be a champion. So he's always been like that from a baby, from a child. So with him, it's a dream for him. It's his life. There's nothing else for him. Even if he went in and got knocked out in a round, he's coming back. There's nothing else down, nothing else he wants to do. He's a live and breathe professional athlete. That's what he is. So it's going to be good. The future's going to be very good for him and good for the boxing public as well.
Oh, definitely. As I said, me as well, a lot of my friends are massive fans. We can see so much potential, and just seems like a lovely guy, just a really nice guy.
He is, he's a nice, genuine lad, and I wouldn't have it any other way, that's the way it is. So he's he's his own man, and he does his own thing, it's same with Tyson, he's his own man, they've all got their own personalities. I don't interfere with them. What you are, you've got to be.
Yeah.
You've got to be yourself. There's no point pretending in front of a camera.
Nah.
Let them be themselves, let them be their own people. And that's it. We like them or dislike them, that's up to the public.
So, the most interesting thing about the Klitschko fight at the weekend for me was Tyson being on Eurosport. As I think you've tweeted as well, just straight talking, it was really good. He spoke nothing but the truth, and he was entertaining as well, unlike the fight.
Well, this is it. The good thing when Tyson come on there, and Steve Collins is on there. They're not carving around and diluting the issue because they get paid from the broadcaster. Or don't say this, don't say that. If somebody said that to Tyson, he wouldn't even go on the program.
No.
He's going to say what he's going to say. He's not going to duck and dive around it. And the truth was told there. Nobody was being ignorant. But it's like Steve Collins said. This is world heavyweight boxing. And look, this is no disrespect to Vladimir Klitschko, because it is a business when you're a world champion. They're both deserving world champions, done better than probably anyone else or right up there.
Yeah.
And they're not to be blamed for filling out 50,000 arenas. Because if they can fill 50,000 arenas fighting the likes of this guy, then why take a risk and only have one payday when you can have 6
exactly
and earn millions? So there's a lot of it. It's governed financially as well. The governing bodies are just to blame as well, because there's favouritisms there. There is it with any walks of life. What one will get away with, another one can't, because of the position they're in. So this is all about being a champion. This is all the perks that go with it. But the public and the boxing fans, it's not good.
Nah.
It's not good because it's a one-way traffic affair. This guy is fighting for a world title, and that's just assessing Leopai. First time Leopai stepped up, and fought anyone. Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson, he's an underrated fighter, Kevin Johnson, but he's not a puncher.
No.
He took Leopai out. I think 7-8 rounds, got rid of him. So that was that. So since then he fought Boytsov. Let's be honest, we offered Boytsov a fight with Tyson. That got turned down. Matt Greer took Boytsov 6 rounds. Who had just turned 19-year-old kid, marmalised Greer in 2 rounds. So let's have a reality check where we're at here. Real boxing fans know where it's at. This guy shouldn't have even been in the ring with Vladimir Klitschko. And all this crap being mandatory and this and that, he shouldn't have been mandatory in the first place. It's not anybody's fault, but like I said, boxing needs a shake-up. They need to have a look at it. And let the real fighters with talent get in there, because a world title should mean a world title. It shouldn't mean a day at the office, because that's what we're getting. So I'm glad that Tyson spoke up, and also Steve Collins, great champion Steve Collins, former world champion. Let's put it this way, there was no turning up at the office when he fought Eubank and Nigel Benn, was there?
Absolutely.
These was fights where he was on the edge of your seat. Let's get these times back. And when Tyson fights, whether he wins a world title or not, if he gets Vladimir Klitschko, there's one thing for sure, Klitschko's going to get hit. It's not going to be one-way traffic. Whatever happens. And if the fight doesn't happen, whoever Tyson fights, but if Tyson gets hold of the world title, for sure, he will defend against the next best man out there. Because, this is what we want to see.
That's what the fans want, that's what should be happening. I mean...
listen, he might be outspoken, but Tyson, he's got tremendous ability. He's got the skill to go all the way when he's dedicated and focused. And he's going to be. So it's going to be very interesting, because we've got an outspoken heavyweight. I love him or hate him, this is a guy that's going to bring back heavyweight boxing to where it needs to be, in my opinion. And he will take on anybody. He
made a good point about everyone's talking about the 70s and what the heavyweight division was, maybe even in the 90s and everything, 80s. I think the fights are there to be made. It's just there's a lot of politics involved. If every top heavyweight was fighting everyone, it'd be a great era of boxing again in the heavyweight division.
Well, let's get it on. It's like we wanted to get. It's all politics and everything, and it's not the fighters themselves. It's very frustrating when fighters call other fighters out, and then them fighters, they can't do anything about it, and then another fighter says, "Oh, you're ducking me," and all this. It ain't the case.
No.
We tried to get Wilder. Wilder wanted a fight again. Politics broke that down. There's loads of fights to be made. All these top fighters in the mix now should be faced off against each other. And like I said, all going well. Tyson gets past Chisora. The world titles will come. Bring the next best man on. He ain't going to sit there and wait for Vladimir.
No.
To make some silly defences while he pockets millions of pounds. Good luck to the man.
So
we ain't going to wait in the waiting room for that. We're going to get busy.
Well, I mean, he's been mandatory now, 3 times to fight Vladimir. It's,
I think what we're looking at, and I explained to Tyson, he's of the same mindset as me. Let's get these big fights, whether they're for a world title or whatever. As long as it pays right, which it will be, let's get on and fight them. And we'll see who's the best. Let's make these fights, and we'll soon see who's the best when the bell goes. That's it. You can't never say what's going to happen in heavyweight boxing.
No.
You're one punch away from disaster, no matter who you are. You can get lucky, like I said about the lottery win earlier on. But let's find out, isn't it? Let's get in there.
Definitely. Let's say that Fury beats Chisora, and Vladimir's up for the fight, which I'm sure he is, but it can be made. He takes Vladimir on, comes back with a suitcase of belts. And then we've got obviously Ario and Stavern fighting for the WBC. Say Deontay Wilder takes one of them out, and Golden Boy push him to fight one of them, and then you've got Deontay Wilder with the WBC, Tyson has the rest. Where do you think would be? I mean, I think the best place obviously would be this country, a big stadium to hold that fight, or wherever, the big as it can be. But do you think it would more likely be in the States, or would it make more money and be more popular over here in the UK?
I think it would be a massive fight here in the UK, to be honest. I think, Tyson, I was listening to what Joe Gallagher said in the Manchester Evening News the other day, and we're fighting here, so it's a big fight, an eliminator. It's in the Manchester arena. Tyson's born and bred here around the Manchester area, and Tyson can make Manchester his own, the same as what Ricky Hatton done.
Yeah.
He made a good point there. You know, there's nothing like the fight fans, you know, where you're from. And, you know, people will take to Tyson when you see the real Tyson, you know, without the clowning around side. When we fight Chisora, they're going to get a taste of seeing what Tyson's really about. So, you know, I think he should stay put. We're based here now, and just stay put and make the fights here. You know, look, in all of Europe, you've got England and Germany. I think they're the biggest boxing countries in the whole of Europe. You know, so this is the capital of Europe, in my opinion, for boxing. So basically, why not? You know, we all speak the same languages. American, it's all English. So basically, put the
Klitschko
fights.
speaks it as well.
Sure, let's have the fights here. You know, Klitschko's got a lot of fans here in the UK as well. So, you know, massive fight in London. We've got the arenas for it. There's Cardiff, there's Wembley. There's all kinds of different things to do. But I think the fights need to be coming back. All the big fights need to be in the UK, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think with Frochgroves coming up, you know, we've got a big stadium fight. If Klitschko was to fight Fury, that has to be a stadium fight. You know, that is huge. It's heavyweight boxing, and it'll be the biggest fight for, well, as long as I can remember, you know. And I think Tyson's earned the right, getting through Chisora, you know, if he does, he's definitely earned the right to be in that position. You know, he's entertaining, he is the full package, and he's backing up with his boxing ability.
Well, he's 22-0, isn't he, with I think 15, 16 knockouts. His power's developed a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
And he's coming into a seasoned heavyweight. You know, he's been around the mill, you know. There's not many, you know, let's have a look here at, you know, Tyson's achievements, you know, what people, you know, fail to see. How many young men go to Madison Square Garden and pull it off? He's fighting a 2-time former world champion. Tyson's not even, he's remotely scratched the surface of fighting a world-class fighter. You know, his first real step up in class was Kevin Johnson, I think. And the rest of them before that are domestic fighters. You know, Steve Cunningham, he is a proper world-class fighter. You know, he's a 2-time cruiserweight world champion. And every heavyweight knows cruiserweights are a nightmare. You know, we've just seen what Steve Cunningham, you know, done to Mansour.
Great fight.
Big puncher, look what happened. You know, so, you know, for a young man to go over in the spotlight, get all the attention, go over to Madison Square Garden, get up off the floor in the second round because you do stupid things, you try to impress the crowd, taking his mind off the fight. You know, these things happen, but still, to get his serious head on, to get up, come back, have the win, you know, and, you know, he's had some hurdles to climb, but, you know, he's come through it. A lot of people, you know for yourself, how many people fail when they go to step up on the ladder. Yeah,
I mean, as we were talking about, if he does go on to fight Vladimir, which I really think he should and hope he does, it'll be. I'm sure it'll be an exciting fight. As you said, Vladimir's going to get hit. This is a guy who's bigger, stronger, and he's going to go right at the guy. And also, I'm sure he'll deliver in the build-up as well. He always does.
You know, Vladimir is an excellent champion. He doesn't take risks. He's calm, he's collected, and you know, he's a serious athlete because he's got the brains to go with the skill. You know, he's a deep thinker. You know, this is where he's done so well with Emmanuel Stewart, because Emmanuel Stewart spent a lot of time with him, and basically, you see, a guy can have all the boxing skill in the world. You know, you've got to get through to the fighter what style's going to suit him, what he needs to watch out for, protect his weaknesses, and, you know, move around. It's not a case of just getting in there. You know, you can have all the tools in the world and have no brains and lose. You know, you got to have the full package. To be a world champion fighter, you've got to have the mindset, the dedication, the skill, and you've got to have, you know, the brains. You know, you've got to have the game plans to take you through the fights. This is it. So it's a complete package. That's why there's world champions are not born every day.
And lastly, it's a topic again me and my friends always talk about. There's going to be a point when you've got 3 world title challenges in the heavyweight division. How are you going to juggle that about? Because they're not going to fight each other, are they?
Well, you know, listen, it's like anything else, you know. I'd relish that situation, you know, and I just want the fighters to do very well. And when they get to them stages, you know, God willing, if ever they do, whether they don't, they do. You know, it's a nice position to be in, to be worrying about that. So,
what a worry.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm sure Mr. Eddie Chambers would be smiling from ear to ear walking up and down Bolton. So, it's good to be back. We've got world class heavyweights. Going for his afternoon lunch on Halliwell Road. So
where'd he go?
He goes to Tasty Bites round the corner.
Yeah.
Here. So they're all good lads. We know a lot of people here in Bolton. It's obviously largely an Asian community. And it's excellent for us because I've known a lot of lads here for many years. We're obviously from this part of the country anyway. So it's all good atmosphere. And they can only go from strength to strength. If they listen, they're dedicated, they certainly got the ability, especially with Hughie and Tyson being the tall heavyweights, and the young. Eddie Chambers, he's right there, It wouldn't surprise me if he gets a shot quicker than people think.
Yeah.
Because this year, we're looking to stepping up now for May the 17th. He fights in Leeds on Mick Hennessy's show.
Yeah.
Then obviously he's on. We'll see how this goes. If he's quick, we're going to get him out. We're going to give him a rest because he has to fly back to America for his visa issues.
Yeah.
And then he's back in July. He'll come back. I think he's back on the 7th of June.
Yeah.
After the 17th of May, and we're looking for a serious fight, even if we can get him a top 10 fighter. So we're looking to make a serious fight for Eddie.
So he fights the week after Hughie again in Sheffield.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
We've got Isaac Lowe. He's called Turbo.
Mm-hmm.
He's the smallest guy in the gym by a mile, and it's good. This little guy, we've got the land of the giants here. Yeah? We've got little guy Isaac. People may think it's silly, but they all spar on the same day. So say Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday morning, whatever it is, right? All their guards on. So we've got some giants, you'll have like Tyson, Hughie, Eddie Chambers, we've got Dave Allen as well, and there's Isaac. He's got his head guard on, he's got his sparring gloves, and one's repeating and one's down there.
Well, they spar regularly, don't they?
Hey, listen, Isaac's in there, and he's sparring, and he's letting his shots out, so it's a good atmosphere. But they're all top lads, that's foremost.
Yeah.
We enjoy it. It's good. It's an enjoyable experience. It's hard work, but it's enjoyable. And it's nice when people come up. We've got a lad there, Chris Keane, Dean Edwards. Dean Edwards, lovely fella. He comes up with his lad, and it's great to see a few faces. We all get on. We have a laugh even between the rounds. We only have 30 seconds left between the sparring. There's somebody cracking a joke or whatever. It's just it's funny. But at the same time, it's serious, but on the humour side. And that's the way you got to have it. Well, that's the way we work anyway. As long as they're getting the results, we're happy with it.
Yeah, my mates were joking with me saying, mate, you're 5'5" on a good day, you're going up there on your own, are you sure,
Yeah.
What's the average height up there,
Yeah, listen, all
boys.
these lads, Tyson included, in real life, they're all gentlemen, really.
Yeah.
It's a bit of banter for the screens or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're well mannered, plenty of respect. People who meet them know what they're about. So the young men, aren't they? It's nice to have that self-belief in yourself and go about your business and achieve it. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting next few years.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Wilder. What can you say about Wilder? Very, very good as well. Let's see. I see him improving as well.
Yeah.
As his fights are going. He's getting better. But again, he's not been hit yet, but that's mainly due to the power he holds. Before they can get anywhere near him, he's hitting them. So, but like I said, again, we'll just have to see. That'd be a good fight with him and Tyson. What thing that would be? Maybe, I don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. If Vladimir Klitschko, my own thing of Vladimir Klitschko, in my opinion, is in waiting to get a shot at the WBC.
Yeah, he wants all the belts himself, doesn't he?
And I think possibly, if he gets the WBC, which his brother vacated, I think then we could see the last of Vladimir. He may just retire with holding all the belts. And if that's the case, all the belts will get relinquished. And I'm quite sure if Tyson and Wilder remain unbeaten, then that's a terrific fight between the two of them.
Oh, Absolutely.
for one of the belts or whatever. It opens the division.
As you said earlier, you know, it's about the big fights rather than the belts. I mean,
It definitely is, and they're the fights we want to be making. They could come over here. Look, all fighters are good people, and I'm one of these. I'm not vindictive towards any man. Any man that steps in that ring, if you're good and you deserve to win, you're the better man on the night.
Mm-hmm.
I'll shake your hand. It can be my son, it can be my nephew, it can be anybody. If he's done his job in this ring and it's a fair fight and he loses or whatever, so what? Give the man the respect he deserves. You've lost. At the end of the day, this is it. May the best man win.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sport. We come from fighting backgrounds, and it's two people in the ring, and it's a warrior sport, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So may the best man win. So it's going to be good. But we definitely want to make the big fights.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we were excited about. And I'm all about the fans anyway. I want to, because fans look at boxing. Because I see myself, although I'm involved in boxing, I see myself as a fan as well. I'm not just about my fighters. When I'm not looking at my fighters, I'm looking at everybody else. So I like to watch the fights even on the lower levels. I like to see the young talent coming through. It's all good. But boxing, if we can put something back into it, make it a little bit better than what it is, which I think we're making some inroads that way. It's all good.
Obviously, you are a boxing fan, so you must have your opinion on the big fight coming up, Mayweather-Maidana.
Look, Mayweather, look, he's a fabulous athlete, Mayweather. People can say this, say that, and I was one of them. I said, if anything, Canelo could do the job on Mayweather. That was my views.
Mm-hmm.
I was asked, and I said, if anything, I'm going to pick Alvarez. I said, because he's young, he's undefeated, he's fought some top quality opponents. I said, if anybody can beat Mayweather, it's got to be him. And look what happened on the night. So this is what I mean about elite fighters, stepping up another gear we've not seen. When it became a live threat for Mayweather, look what he did. So I think Mayweather, when I said at the time, I said if he beats Alvarez, I said this guy, he's positioned himself as a Hall of Fame fighter anyway.
Yeah.
But in my book, he's as good as any era has ever been in any weights. He's right up there. He belongs there, and I think he's an exceptional elite fighter. And I think Maidana is going to be hitting fresh air for a long time in this fight.
Absolutely.
So,
and that shows you the difference between, little brother Broner there, doesn't it, really?
Well, you're going to see a totally different job, different class, and nothing's going to land. It's going to be it's going to be frustrating for Maidana, and Maidana as well. The more he tries, the worse it's going to be for him, because he'll probably get himself stopped.
Yeah.
Because and this is what I say. It's just a different class completely. And Maidana's a very, very good world-class fighter as well. He's dangerous. He's good fighter.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to take anything away from Maidana whatsoever, but definitely not. He hasn't got a prayer against Mayweather. That's my opinion.
I agree with that as well. I mean, and something that just before we finish this, Tyson again mentioned last night about Lara beating Alvarez. I mean, that's another really tricky customer he's got there, Canelo.
Who, sorry?
Erislandy Lara.
I've not seen him.
Not seen much of that guy?
Nope, I don't know anything about him.
Tyson said you've heard it here first. He's backing him.
Okay, so
He's
Tyson
a Cuban fella.
Tyson must know him, but I don't. Because
Yeah.
Tyson is very up on his boxers as
Mhm.
well. I like that Regan Dow. God,
Oh.
he's a top fighter as well, isn't he?
No one wants to fight him,
You're surprised.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, they chucked Donaire in and
Look what happened
look
there.
what happened.
I wish I had a fighter on a world level. I'd fight him anyway.
Yeah.
Just put him in there. So get in and have a go. But no, he's elite fighters again. So very good fighter. Who else have we got here? In fighters. There's so many, isn't there? I'm impressed with. I'm very impressed with Scott Quigg as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, he's round the corner here, so we've been watching him. Isaac Lowe's been doing some sparring with him, Scott Quigg.
Does he go? Is he at the Gloves community?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he trains with Joe Gallagher there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very impressed with what I've seen. I've seen things in the sparring what nobody's even seen him do in the ring, because he's getting rid of opponents pretty quick.
Yeah.
But he's I've heard some comments from all different kinds of people, but I think they're underestimating Scott Quigg. I think he's definitely right up there. You got Scott Quigg. He's a very good fighter. I also like Kid Galahad as well. He's a personal friend of ours as well.
He'll be on the
Sheffield.
Yeah.
He's on the 10th.
Hoping to see
You know,
that.
we
one.
wish him all the best.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously you got Frampton.
Mhm.
You know, I think these are the three main ones we've got in the UK at the minute. And that's going to be it's an exciting division.
Well,
Quigg, he's getting better all the time as well.
Mhm.
Every fight he has, he's improving as well. So it's all good. And, you know, I was only talking to him a few days ago, and I said to him, you know, he's got that belief of being a world champion now. He's defended it
Mhm.
a few times.
Yeah.
You know, he's up there. You know, full credit to him. But he's going to be around for quite a while, Scott Quigg. He's not going to be beaten in a hurry, that kid.
Nah. Are you Quigg over Frampton?
Well, you can't say that because Frampton's very, very good as well.
Yeah. We're very lucky, as you said.
That's what I'm saying. You know, they're all on similar talent. You know, it's like Kid Galahad as well. You know, the slips, the talent he's got. You know, look, you can't judge one fighter having one fight, and judge that fight and judge that fight, because styles make fights. Now it's like Kid Galahad. He's got all the moves in the world that could make it very, very awkward for them to get the shots off.
Yeah.
You know, so we just don't know till they put it together. You know, but anything can happen. But these three are all top class fighters, and it's going to be interesting to see just how far they go. But to pick one better than the other, you know, it's only an opinion. You couldn't say. You know, I've not been in their gyms watching, seeing what they're doing. You know, Quigg, I've had the privilege of watching him. You know, he's a very, very talented young fella, and he's right up there anyway.
Yeah.
But it's going to be good to see. You know, and you know, wherever these fights are, I'm going to go and see them.
Definitely.
If they're in the UK. You know.
Yeah. Okay, Peter. Thank you so much for
Sure.
letting us talk.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. That's the boxing supplement. Thank you very much. We'll catch you again.